Press play and get reviewed. It's time for another review of The Haunted World of CW, Season 6, Episode 9. Hello everybody, I'm GG13, and this is one more step into the world of the things that go bump in the night. And bang, and pow, and bite, and gnash, and slash, and, well, just about everything else you can imagine. Okay, so, this was the final confrontation with Bloody Mary, and it picks up right where 8 left off. So, if you haven't seen it yet, please, spoiler alert, stop the video now. Go to youtube.com/giallogirl13. The link is going to be down there in the description. Right down that way. Yeah. You know where the description is? Yeah, right there. Good. See the little blue thing that looks like a hyperlink? Yeah. That says youtube.com/giallogirl13. Click it. It'll take you there. I'm still going to be here, so, you can always come back to this, please. Okay, now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's enough time for those who have done that, and I'm assuming you're back, and for those of you who never left, let's keep going. So, as I said, 8 left off on a pretty neat little cliffhanger. Constance, drink. Bloody Mary basically just pulled a snatch and grab. And, now she's in the Mirrorverse, which this is a concept that's been done so much and so well over so long a period of time that I think this probably was a very dangerous route to take it. It's not an easy thing to do, but what are you going to do? She lives in a mirror, for crying out loud. You kind of have to. So, went into the Mirrorverse, and Constance is loving it. She's like, oh, this is so cool. I wish I had time to check it out, but I know I need to get back. Well, I know them. They're going to be on it. They're going to get me back, and of course, we see, we can look through the mirror. We can see Whisper and Jesse, and it looks like Jesse just cracked a big one. So Constance looks at the camera, like, I'm looking at you now, and goes, yeah, I'm screwed, aren't I? I'm going to be stuck here forever. Most obvious joke ever, if you know the characters, and I love the way that it was used. So she starts taking a look around, and lo and behold, everything is backwards. It's a mirror reflection. Unless you can read backwards, which, believe it or not, I can do. And fairly easily, I might add. Strange. But, yeah. Everything is the opposite reflection. Whereas the normal house, there's barely any food. In the Mirrorverse, the damn thing is stocked full. Whereas in the real world, everything seems sparse and barren. There, everything is very well populated. It's all good. What's kind of interesting is that at first she thinks, nobody's there. It's going to be her and Mary alone. No, Jesse shows up. And of course, Jesse's his own reflection, whereas Jesse is kind of a coward. Only a bit, though. Only a bit. I mean, let's face facts. Wanting to go find that book with Jorge by yourself, armed with a gun, only a gun and a road flare, that's pretty badass, dude. Love it. But, he doesn't want to be the one to go. I mean, he's kind of the Shaggy of the group, if you think about it. Especially with certain substances enhancing his love of tacos. But enough about that. Whereas in the normal world he's like that, there he seems to be pretty straight-laced, competent, and, really on the ball, and sort of a go-getter. And ironically, it's not that easy to trick him like it is in the real world. Sorry, dude, but you've been tricked a few times too, baby. But, of course, Constance starts stringing him along, and it turns out that, of course, in here, he's evil. So it seems like we're in our world, good reigns supreme, there, evil runs the show, and with a tyrannical fist. Thinking about it, it makes sense. And then we see Constance. Now, this one I had a bit of a problem with, but I guess for the purposes of story, it kind of works at the same time. The part I had a real problem with is that, if you're talking about mirror opposites, Constance in the real world is a person who has it all together. She uses a lot of common sense. She's a total shit kicker and obviously good. And she has all of those traits in the Mirrorverse too, except now she's evil. And this is also where Constance finds out, oh yeah, here in the Mirrorverse, my magic doesn't work. Crap. So yeah, that's one advantage she had against Mary, against her. Now we cut back also to Jessie and Whisper talking, and Whisper's been doing some research, and she thinks that she's found an incantation to bring him back. Of course, before this, when they were doing some talking, the only thing that she could bring up was Jessie's farts, and I mean to tell you, oh my god, I know that conversation a little too well, unfortunately. But Whisper, here's a thought. It really is a natural body function. And just because yours don't stink doesn't mean everybody's won't, okay? Just, there you go. Sorry about that, girlie. But they've, she's discovered an incantation that can bring her back, but if it fails, it'll bring her back as sort of a mutated, twisted, kill me now abomination. And really? Yeah. That's so good. Not so good. But apparently Whisper has a plan. So now we cut back over, and Constance having escaped from Jessie and Mirror Constance, she runs downstairs away from Jessie's gun, because let's face it, here he's actually a pretty cracked shot. Just barely missed. At least I hope he missed. The way she fell, it kind of made me worry at first. But she makes her way downstairs and she sees Whisper. Now, of course, in our world, Whisper's bubbly, outgoing, a go-getter, very energetic, very inventive. In the Mirrorverse, she's staring at a static-filled TV with the sullen, lazy, angry expression on her face. Don't mess with me, I'm not in the mood kind of thing. And that's definitely not Whisper. So, that's Mirror Whisper, and I gotta tell you, that was perfectly done. Now, the biggest surprise was Master Merzda. Turns out he's in the house, trapped in the basement, and of course in our world, he's an incredible Taekwondo master, shit kicker. This was one I almost had a problem with. He's a D&D nerd. I mean, if you're gonna say that the opposite of a Taekwondo ass kicker is a D&D nerd, then I might have a slight issue. Not really, but I might. But it's just the framing of it, because I took Kung Fu myself. I took a little bit of karate and, tried to mesh the two styles before I ran out of funds. Being a poor boy, couldn't afford it. But I'm also a D&D nerd. As a matter of fact, I'm a dungeon master, I'm a player, I love just about everything about 5th edition. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Although I do have to say that the characterization of King James as being only a character in his game, in the Mirrorverse, was inspired as an insult to the character. I love it. It was great. But she convinces Master Merzda to leave the house. She's not going to beat him up, even though apparently Mirror Constance always does. And it's about done when he's getting ready to go. He grabs that Nerf gun. That Bloody Mary decides, oh yeah, I'm going to try and pull the Independence Day gag on the president. No peace. No. He kind of throws the body up against the window. And Constance just had enough. She's like, you know what? Hey, I've tried everything. I've tried everything to be nice to you, and all you want to do is kill me. Yeah, bring it, bitch. And sure enough, she tries to bring him in. It's about right then that Whisper in the real world has enacted her plan. In comes the incantation. Here comes Bloody Mary, a bloody mess. They land on a mattress, because apparently you have to be comfortable when you come back from the Mirrorverse. And Constance runs away real quick, and Whisper hits the button, activating her Egon-level ghost trap. I love it. Freaking best use of a VCR ever, I swear. And the whole thing kind of ends there with Whisper lamenting the fact that the mattress got blood on it. Let me tell you something. They make a bleach pen, okay? You can get it out. Trust me. So, of course, cue the credits, and see. And I gotta tell you, for a final confrontation with Bloody Mary, that was genius. I should have seen that setup coming a mile away with the Egon trap, but I didn't. And, it was so well done, I thought. There were a few issues I had. Of course, the whole D&D nerd thing. I don't think you were really making fun of nerds on that one, though. I kind of think that you were just trying to portray him as the polar opposite, the closet classic nerd, and sometimes that's kind of hard to do without maybe insulting somebody, so I'm not going to take any insult out on it at all. I never did, I never will. I'm just a little worried that some people might, and I'm hoping they don't, because I understand it completely. Then there is, of course, the portrayal of Constance in the Mirrorvers. Basically, she's the same thing in both universes, except one where she's good, one where she's evil. If you're going to do the Mirrorverse thing, there's a little bit of a thought process there that kind of says that that shouldn't be the case. But I'm not going to say one way or another on that one, because, again, I think that's kind of nitpicking, and I only say it because I think if that has to come up again, that might be something to address. And really, I think the best thing to take away from the whole thing, I thought, was the Bloody Mary thing. Now, this I wanted to bring up, too, because this kind of had me thinking. There was a part in that where Bloody Mary just, like she just stopped. And right there, you could see everything about the woman. And I've watched every episode of The Haunted World of CW. I watched from the very first vlog that Claire did, all the way up to this, and the next video I'm going to do today, which is the new one that just dropped. And that looks so much like Emma. Looks so much like Emma. Like, I'm not going to say it was, like, identically Emma. I'm not going to say it was Emma. But, yeah. It would be cool. It would be a cool little Easter egg if, that was the case. But, you have to sum up Bloody Mary somehow. It has to be done. And quite frankly, it was very well done. A little blurry-eyed there. It's one of those things where you just, you think about it and it kind of comes up. And you see that, and it's one of those, you can't unsee it now. So I kind of hope I haven't really ruined anything for you. And, oh yeah, by the way, that thing right there, it is in fact the Master Sword. I have one from Twilight Princess. It's a replica, but it's awesome. I love it. Anyway, so that's all I have for this edition of the Haunted World of CW review. Be sure to check out my next video for episode 10. The season 3 retrospective is coming through again. I'm actually rewatching it now because I want to try and make sure that I'm not going to miss points that I wanted to cover. And also be sure to like down there. Be sure to comment. Subscribe to the channel, please. I love to see new subscribers. I love to see new comments. I love to see more activity. And also, I'm trying to, as I've said on Twitter, improve the channel. I have other things I want to do with it besides just reviewing this YouTube channel or this episode of this or that. I want to be able to do recommendations. I want to be able to do new videos. I kind of want to add some music, intro, outro stuff. Yeah, right now my current level of technology just will not allow for any of that. It's just basically me holding the iPad and boom, there it is. So anyway. Down there is a donation link. If you donate to that, you will be supporting the channel and helping to improve it. Then, once everything is all good, I do plan on shutting that down because this isn't about the money for me. This is actually about, being able to do something cool for people I like. And, of course, I love the GG13 Collective. I love those guys. They've been some of my favorite stuff on YouTube ever since I first discovered them. And I think I started watching around season, it was about the beginning of season 2, the American Slipmouth Woman. No, that would have been season 1. Yeah, that's right. It was right about then I started watching, and I gotta tell you, I was hooked. And I mean hooked. Okay? Like heroin hooked. But yeah, I binge watch all the time, and it's so awesome. But anyway, I want to be able to do stuff for them. I want to be able to do stuff for some other people that I've been doing recommendations for. I did the Night Mind review so far. Believe it or not, that's actually been one of that's actually my most watched video ever. And I'd like to thank everybody who watched that, everybody who did a thumbs up, everybody who commented, just everybody who watched. And I'm hoping to do more stuff like that. That's why I'm doing the fundraiser to get the extra equipment. And until next time, this is JD Paladin saying, stay righteous.